All right, welcome back to the channel. It is continuing to be Iron Shaft Day at TXG. We did some fun testing with kind of your heavier weight category, not the heaviest, but I did some 120 to 130 gram testing.
Yeah, some of the speed players and the heavier loaders, and I think the heavier loader part is interesting. That's the guy who requires the weight. So as he's transitioning, he or she is transitioning from backswing to downswing in a pretty aggressive fashion. That load of the shaft is where you really need the weight in order to continue to feel the shaft to time it.
Right. So when you go down in speed a little bit from, I guess we were probably testing around 97, 98 mile an hour, 6-iron speed. We're probably talking now about 87 to 90.
But 10 less.
10 less or so. This is probably the weight category that you fit the most here. Is that safe to say?
I would say so, yeah.
110 to 115.
That's it, yeah.
Perfect. So it's a nice range because it's not super light, obviously, but it gives the player a little bit more, I guess, energy. They can swing a bit faster, but still control the ball flight.
Yeah. Well, we do have one new shaft we're going to add to this one, which is the new Accra.
That's right. So that's brand new. We saw it at the show, didn't we?
Yeah. We haven't had it. This is our first opportunity to really hit it. We were at Accra Day at Orange Tree. We were more trying to get some filming videos done.
Sure.
We didn't have much time in the range, so I actually never hit any shots with it.
No, neither did I.
So today's the first time I've struck a blow with it, and
Perfect.
With the whole kind of COVID deal, the release of this has been slower than Accra would have liked. So
a bit under the radar. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting shaft, Matty. When the first step is here. So normally,
right?
yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it's kind of it is stepless up until about 3/4 of the way up the shaft, or no more. Yeah. Or 2/3.
Yeah, because the Nippon's probably more like...
You've got a stepped profile into the butt section, which is unique.
It's different, yeah. So the good news about having the Nippon 120 and the LZ, you know what those shafts do pretty well.
Yeah.
So this being a new offering, you should be able to kind of benchmark it against these two and see who that might kind of fit in the future.
Yeah. Identical weight profiles with these three shafts, 115, 115, 114.6. So
that's great.
They're exactly the same.
Okay, so you're going to try to give us, it's a little, well, it's probably a fair amount below your normal speed. Aim for 120 ball speed on the 6-iron.
I think that should be pretty much into the meat of what I see most people at flying 6-iron, like 170 to 175.
Perfect.
A lot of people are in that category.
All right, let me tag this up for you. It's a nice looking smoothie. Match the edge of the green. Nice. Just a bit of a fade that didn't fade. Nice.
19.
It's a beauty. How's that feeling so far?
Feels really nice. I wouldn't say I'm aware of any feel of load. It feels very sort of like even in the distribution of the flex.
Right.
I'm not feeling anything where it's like, oh, it's particularly soft at the tip or it's really stiff under the hand. I'm not feeling any of that.
That's where most of iron shaft feel comes from, I would assume. Based on where their kick point is. So if it has a softer handle, softer middle, that's what I would imagine you really feel.
Yeah, I think in the swing, yes, definitely. Now you probably are aware sort of if the tip is very soft, then probably less so with irons, I think, than woods. But yeah, I don't think you see too many particularly tip soft irons.
Fair enough, yeah.
Maybe Elevate might be the exception to the rule with that.
So it's giving you a fairly neutral feel then to start with?
Very, very neutral.
That's good. That sounded good.
That's 120.
Yeah, perfect. Nice and square. Good. Yeah, nice. It looks very different to me when that shot started a hair left of center. I was expecting it to start curving and it just went dead
Held its
straight.
line.
Do you feel like you got a little better control of that?
I feel like the weight has got me feeling it entirely differently. And I know we're talking like 2 grams, but it's where I feel the weight.
You feel
Like
it high.
I kind of feel like because I have a control under my hands, I have much more awareness of what the club is doing.
That makes sense. Yeah, nice.
I mean, I've got a little on the quick side with that
A
one.
little faster, yeah. Yeah, that's okay. It's not outrageous. To me, having seen you hit them, that's exactly what it looked like to me. It looked like you swung a shade faster, obviously. Maybe you were a little bit more comfortable. You got a little bit more neutral with it. You kept the face a little bit more square, or a lot more square, actually. And so you got a little bit more launch and a bit more spin. Nice.
Felt good. Lovely and crisp.
Very nice. Perfect number. Good too.
Felt good, yep.
It's nice. Very nice. Nice. Oh, yes. Huh.
Probably the best swing I've made with the Accra one.
Yep. Good one there. Swing. Really good. Nice. Very nice. Definitely not a ton when it comes to launch and spin, ball speed. It did seem like overall you got a little less spin out of the Accra. I don't think that was more than just a little bit more of a closed face on that. Speed's pretty much the same. You got really good efficiency at the Modus. It definitely Modus suited your timing the best. I thought Project X was going to be your your favorite, but Modus was very automatic for you. So it would look like there's something with the Accra that maybe isn't 100% suited to you. A little bit of a softer profile, you felt like maybe.
I think it's probably tip flex. Looking at that dynamic lie angle, how
Okay. So maybe that's drooping a bit more because it might be a bit softer
bit
down.
softer on the tip
near the
section. So
head.
maybe that's what I'm feeling a bit of as well. So maybe a softer, which might not be a bad thing. I mean, I know we're trying to represent that 115 player, but to be honest, like 90 miles an hour is probably 3 miles an hour more than I would love that to be.
So maybe the Accra is good for someone closer to the 85, 86 range.
Yeah.
Then you've got ones that are subtly better for the slightly quick player.
Well, look at that dynamic lie, the dynamic loft.
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier, if the shaft moves in two dominant planes, droop and then obviously lead trail deflection, if you wanted to influence one of those planes with puring, you would know which one you'd want to do here, which would be you'd want it to droop less.
Yeah, you want it to move up more.
So you'd want to stabilize the amount of that you're getting. Now that's really getting into the details, and you would have to probably measure it afterwards to make sure that it had an effect, and if it did have an effect, how much of an effect.
But based on this, it looks like softest tip in the Accra, medium softest tip in Modus, stiffest tip in the Project X.
Yeah.
And that's kind of carried through in all the stats. Cool.
Yeah, I think players who like to feel a little bit of a smoother, softer shaft will really like the feel of that Accra. It didn't feel a million miles away from the Modus, I will say. The Accra and the Modus felt quite
close.
similar.
Nice.
And the Project X felt stiffest.
Right. So
to me.
makes perfect sense. I think if that was a little faster than you would consider average, the average swing speed player may actually find this to be a little bit closer to what they want.
Yeah.
And if you're environmentally conscious, it's a bonus.
Absolutely.
You're looking after the earth.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Any other notes on those?
No, I think that's a fairly general overview of those.
Yeah.
Definitely one to try for a lot of people. I mean, obviously Accra with its parent company now at True Temper, we know that there's going to be some True Temper influence on the evolution of this line, and
True.
hard to go to anyone else for more information on how to make a steel shaft than the guys at True Temper. They've made the most popular steel shaft in golf for nearly probably 30 odd years.
And Accra's a company that's been extremely successful with graphite for how many years? So
Yep.
I think a lot of Accra fans will definitely take a look at that.
Worth trying.
And going to be on the shaft wall?
They will be, for sure.
So there you go. Officially coming to TXG. Cool. All right, so some cool shaft options for your sort of average and common swing speed players.
Yep.
All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. We will see you next time.